So, tell me who you both are and who you're with.
Yeah, so I'm Mark Compton. I'm the executive director of the American Exploration and Mining Association. We're a national trade organization representing the mining industry. Members in 46 states and about 10 or 12 other countries
Wow.
as well.
Really?
But our focus is promoting the U.S. mining industry and increasing domestic mineral production.
Okay. And?
Yeah, I'm Kenna O'Neill. I am the External Affairs and Member Relations Manager at AEMA. So I get the honor of advocating on behalf of the industry every day on social media and through writing and all the fun tools we like to use.
You know, I think we live in a time when we don't realize the opportunity. I can remember looking at, for my business, paying for a billboard or something like that, and the astronomical cost and how it would only meet these people. And honestly, what you are doing and your role in your job is so critical and important because you're the outward representation of telling that story. And also the complication of doing it on all the different platforms and in all the different ways to reach all the different people. Thank you. I think that's really important. And obviously, people put a lot of trust in you because you're their reputation forward-facing. So I appreciate you sitting down with us and having this conversation.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah. So Ryan had said that he wanted us to sit down and talk with you. Better in Our Backyard is why we're here. That's what we're about. Why are you guys here at the 5th annual dinner of Better in Our Backyard?
So for the American Exploration and Mining Association, as an advocate for the mining industry, we lobby, we do public relations. We, as an industry, it's always been said we need to do a better job of telling our story.
Yeah, come on.
And if we're going to do that better job, we can't do it alone.
Yeah.
We need partners. So it's a huge priority for us to partner with our sister organizations in the state mining associations, other national associations, regional associations, and even associations outside the mining industry. I mean, mining's the beginning of the supply chain for everything.
Agreed.
And so all of our downstream customers should be just as much of an advocate for the mining industry as we are. But as we look to partner with those allied organizations, Better in Our Backyard has done a tremendous job in a very short period of time of telling mining's story.
Yeah.
And so any way that we can support their efforts, they do a great job of supporting ours. And so it's an easy decision for us to be here tonight.
Yeah. What would you say from a story standpoint? Why is what Better in Our Backyard is doing, why is it so important?
They do a great job at getting down to the base level with the base normal people here in Minnesota and throughout the nation of just telling the story of who we are as miners, of their other industry members, and spreading that nationally. Ryan has taken social media platforms like LinkedIn and just blown it up in the mining world that we've never seen before and never had before. And so it's just reaching this whole other audience that we were never going to tap into had it not been for Better in Our Backyard or for Ryan.
Yeah. I heard someone say recently that there is a renaissance there's something new in the air as far as what's going on. And this being the 5th annual dinner, and they have progressively been bigger, and this is the biggest one here in Duluth, Minnesota. I think there's something in the air right now with what's going on, and quite frankly, I think it's pretty exciting. I mean, where we're going.
This is one of the most exciting times to be in the mining industry. I mean, I've been in it for an awful long time. I've never seen this level of excitement in the industry. There is more recognition on a bipartisan basis of the importance of a strong domestic mining industry than there ever has been. And the skyrocketing mineral demand that we see globally,
Yeah.
not just in the U.S. but
Yeah.
globally,
Yeah.
this industry has an extremely bright future,
Yeah.
and it's exciting to be part of shaping that future.
So I find it really interesting. You know, you guys are an association as well, which is what Better in Our Backyard is. And we talk about, you know, what we feel is going on and how it's such an exciting time. And I think that's important. But the other thing that I'm starting to notice and starting to see that really excites me is the fact that I see a lot more of what I would call a learn and grow mindset instead of a protect and defend. Like you guys are an association as well, and you're here at this association dinner, and you talk about coming alongside people, and it's like, you know, there is this opportunity for us to work together to make a difference. And reality is we can't do what we can do alone like we can if we all come together. And so I think that's pretty cool that you guys are here like that.
Well, and I think the mining industry, right or wrong, has a reputation for way too long being reactive and letting others define who we are.
Yeah.
And I think what you're seeing now is both an opportunity and a willingness and an eagerness for the industry to define ourselves.
Yeah.
This is who we are. This is what we stand for. So I think that's why you're seeing the kind of turnout that you're seeing at this dinner tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's really interesting the things that you guys are doing. You talked about some of the campaigns that you are investing in, and you both are wearing these name tags that really are messing with my brain because I keep trying to, you know, remember your names. And you're both mining. Hello, I am mining. Tell me a little bit about that name tag and what that means, because I think that's really important for the American people and for companies and just those who are around, because, you know, mines are this thing where I grew up, they surround them with trees. They pretty much hide them from the rest of the world. Like you would often drive by a quarry or something like that, which is an open mine, and you wouldn't even know that it's there. You know, and you pull in and then you see it. So when you have these things on and you guys are working on this campaign of mining, what does that mean? Hello, I am mining.
Yeah, so the I Am Mining campaign, which was launched just about 6 or 7 months ago,
Okay.
you know, it's a national PR campaign. You know, I mentioned earlier we've got to do a better job of telling our story.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
And part of that is, you know, as an industry, we're really good at presenting facts.
Yeah.
You know, and you mentioned people, you know, mining's kind of out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
And from a future workforce perspective, it's the same way. People don't see the mining industry as a place to go work because mining's kind of out of sight, out of mind. This is an effort to highlight mining and what mining does, but more importantly, the people in the mining industry, to kind of humanize the industry a bit and make it more relatable. You know, the mining's opponents do a really, really good job of playing on emotion.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, kind of defining what mining is. I Am Mining, by highlighting the people that work in the industry, it's showing that miners and others in the industry, because there's obviously a plethora of jobs in the industry besides being a miner.
Absolutely.
They're just like everybody else. We have the same hopes and dreams and passions and hobbies and all this other stuff that everybody else does.
Yeah.
We all have children and grandchildren that, you know, we want to see thriving in the same environment that we've grown up in, or even better. And so, and I'll let Kenna talk more specifically about the campaign and the structure of it. But that's really what it's all about, is trying to humanize the industry a bit, make it more relatable.
Well, because the industry is made up of people. I think that's the thing that a lot of us, because we live in this world where we have these screens that can separate us from what's really going on. It separates us from the dirt and the grime. I was literally in a foundry today, and I was talking with guys that work 12 hours and it was hot. Like not far away from us was some molten metal that was over 3,000 degrees, which was iron that came out of the mines that you're talking about. And the men and women that work there are doing that work, and we can separate ourselves from that. And that's the importance of recognizing that it is the people and not separating that the way that we have done. Why don't you talk about that like he said? Tell us about that.
Well, and those people that you met, I think the most important thing is that they're just like us. They're moms, they're dads, they're soccer coaches on the weekends. They shop in the same supermarket, fish out of the same lake that they protect while they mine, and all these other things. I think when I started working in the mining industry about 5 years ago, I knew I supported mining subconsciously, but I was indifferent to it. My picture of a miner was a dirty guy walking out of a hole at the end of the day.
Right.
And that is so different 5 years in now that I've seen it, now that I've met the people in it. My vision of mining has nothing to do with that picture I had 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's the exact point of the campaign, like Mark was saying. It's a 30-second, 60-second video that, one, introduces you to this person and how they got into mining in the first place. Most of them weren't middle schoolers that said, hey, I want to be a miner when I grow up.
Yeah.
The next thing it does is talk about who they are as people and how what they do on a day-to-day basis, nothing to do with their job, that is relatable to just about anyone. You can find someone in those videos that is just like you.
Yeah.
And the third thing they talk about is why they're in mining to begin with. Why are they doing this job? Because we all do a job for a reason. One's a paycheck, obviously. But a lot of these folks you'll find are more passionate about mining than we are as lobbyists or advocates for the industry.
Yeah.
They sincerely care about the rivers in their neighborhood. They probably moved here to that mining town before they even took a mining job. They care about where they live, where they work, and they care about the environment that they're leaving for their children and their great-grandchildren.
Yeah.
And that's what these videos do in 30 to 60 seconds.
Yeah.
And there's also a photo series that goes along with it that's just a very simple picture of someone fishing out of a river near a mine or biking down a trail that was maybe reclaimed after a mine was there many years ago. And it just shows you who they are, what they're doing, and what they're all about, and hopefully can just relate to somebody that is just like them that maybe was indifferent to mining too.
I so appreciate that you guys are telling the story of the men and women who are mining. And I think it's really important for the American people, because we're here at Better in Our Backyard at their 5th annual dinner. And I've said this multiple times. I'm going to sound like a broken record. Hopefully, I don't play this podcast all together. But it's like, our backyard is my backyard, is your backyard. And the reality is, some of the greatest environmentalists, some of the people that care the most about our planet and how we take care of it are miners. They are these people. I heard a congressman say today that the cleanest water in Minnesota is around the mines. Like, that's insane. And the reality is, people don't know that. People don't hear that. People aren't aware of that. So the story that you're telling, it really, truly matters. And it matters for the men and women. It matters for their children. It is the legacy that you will leave. People might not remember your name or who you are, but what you're doing will affect generations to come. And I believe that's part of what Better in Our Backyard is doing as well. And so that's why I'm so appreciative. There are not people just from Minnesota here. You guys aren't from Minnesota. I am not from Minnesota. But if we can all come together and make a difference, it's about the backyard that is the planet that we live on. And I believe that the mining industry is some of the greatest green, eco-friendly people on the planet, because they understand it better than anybody that's talking on TV, better than anybody that's making some sort of speech about it or motivation. And I also think it's important that you guys talk about, you said a word that even for me is cringy. You said lobbyist. I think it's important that people that see you guys, and lobbyist doesn't mean bad, because you are lobbying for something good. And a lobbyist just means that you're fighting for something that you believe in. And so I greatly appreciate that.
And it's just a matter of education.
Exactly.
I mean, so you're a teacher, you're educating students. You're a lobbyist, you're educating elected officials.
Yeah.
And
Well, when you put it that way, thank you
you know,
very much.
That's I mean, that at the end of the day,
That's
folks,
what people need to know.
That's what people need to know.
Yeah.